Hello, and welcome to the Nights in the Nightmare Let's Play. This is video 47, covering scene 42. Last time, we fought and killed Sakido, the puppet maiden of Princess Alier, who was apparently maintaining a barrier that was keeping the Tiamat realm safe. Having killed Sakido, the barrier fell, and their last line of defense went with it. Now it appears that some monsters have seized the opportunity to invade, and in fact, it seems implied that the Tiamats are getting wiped out. This is, of course, because we killed Sakido and then lowered the barrier. And to be honest, the Wisp doesn't seem to really give a shit, except for one thing. Now the monsters are picking a fight with us. Well, you know how we feel about that. Let's take them out. Here's the arena for our fight this time. As you can see, there's a big hole in the middle, and that causes the outer rim to be pretty crammed. Makes for some interesting positions and some interesting night use. Alright, let's get started. We have an empty slot. I go ahead and throw in Colleen, one of our permanent duelists. For the second slot, I throw in Moira, a permanent hermit of ours. And then there is a knight to recruit on the field, so all of our knight slots are now filled. Let's load up a key item. Lucia, the hermit on field, has an ordinary towel for her key item. Okay, next come the weapons. Moira is near a fire-based enemy, so I throw on some ice daggers for her. And in fact, she can overcharge these ice daggers. We've used them quite a bit in the past. They've actually saved my butt several times. We need a sword for Colleen. I go ahead and throw on a lightning-based sword that's only usable in Chaos phase. And finally, a weapon for Lucia, the other hermit. Some neutral-based daggers will work. Okay, so Moira's job is going to be to kill that fire monster near her. And with the ability to overcharge those daggers, she's going to have that monster killed dead. Colleen's job is to jump onto this magic tile here, and we'll see what happens when she does that. But as long as she's jumping forward, she might as well do an attack, huh? So that's why I loaded up the sword for her. Her focus is going to be this knight next to her, this lightning-based knight, and she'll get a little support from Lucia as well. Lucia can hit that knight in law phase, and if you recall, if a hermit lands a blow in law phase, they'll attack the enemy and they'll instill a status ailment on them. In the case of neutral, it will cause the enemy to turn neutral-based affinity, but also give it the status ailment wound, which gives them double damage. Of course, Vishna was the leader of the 8th Order. We transsouled her to Francis. And for some reason, Lucia is fretting about this ordinary towel. Now she's recruited. Let's charge up Colleen. And her target is that knight. They're only available to be hit during an attack animation, which I fall for all the time. So I can hit him there, but I'm not going to get a very good blow on him, so screw it. Oh shit, 25% damage. Oh fuck, he matches the affinity of her sword. Oh, what a fuck up. And now he's like, oh look, hit me, 1%, now's your chance, better take it. Oh, fuck you. Ah shit, fuck me. Alright, let's just ignore that for now. Teehee. Moira, you're good for a kill. Alright, with one blow she kills that witch, good job. And oh, she activated a rush count effect, Hermit's charged instantly. As you can see, that's available for a unit of time, not just one count, so it's one of the weird ones. Alright, go ahead Lucia, hit that knight, hit that fucker. She's gonna hit him in law phase. And by doing that, she changes him to neutral, so Colleen says, remember me. Alright, good job ladies. So, now that Colleen is standing on that magic tile, we can see what happened. There she is, and it caused a treasure box to appear right there. So now there's an object on the field we have to beat on to get the item out of. It has 8% damage on it now. Let's charge up Lucia and see what happens. 16%. Ugh. So we added 8% damage to it. By the way, those guys up there in the corner are out of limits. None of our knights can reach them. So at this point, it's not really worth me continuing the round. The only thing I can do is beat on that treasure box. But I might as well end the round, start a new one, spawn in more monsters that we can beat on at the same time we're beating on the treasure box. Okay, Colleen, thanks for your participation, but the position you're in now isn't very useful to me. She can't face downward to attack that Lamina, and so I'm going to pull her out and put in Rosa, one of our permanent priestesses. Of course, we don't need Colleen's sword, do we? Unfortunately, it's pretty slim pickings for a neutral base law phase weapon for priestesses, but we'll make do with that. Finally, Lucia, good job, but you're now recruited. I'm going to pull you out and put in Francis, our other permanent hermit. Okay, we need to load up another key item. Gordon, an NPC, has a compass. Okay, we're doing pretty good. We have a good setup. Let's keep going. That's kind of interesting. Okay, Rosa, let her have it. It's kind of scary to leave a knight charged near a Lamina for very long. Don't forget, Laminas have that special move where they launch a hard attack, and if it hits a knight that's been charged, it'll turn the knight into an enemy. It's only temporary, but it's kind of a pain. Good job, Rosa. And Rosa triggers the rush count again. Hermit's charge instantly. Oh, I can't get to the weapons. There we go. And another one-hit kill for Moira. Oh, shit. The daggers that Lucia used actually out-level Francis, so she can't use them to beat on the treasure box. Whoops. That's fine. Rosa's more than capable of killing that monster near her. Here comes the heart attack from a Lamina up top screen, but her aim was not very good. It didn't even come close to one of our knights. Alright, good job, Rosa. And we're in the same position as before. We can't do anything about those monsters up above. And I don't really want to spend my magic points pounding away at that treasure box. I couldn't anyway, because, of course, Francis couldn't equip the daggers. We have one more key item to load up. Narhal has some dragon scales. Let's get some daggers on that Francis can handle. Alright, aside from that change, everyone's got a good setup. Let's just keep pushing on.
Engage.
Yeah, so this guy's a little out of the loop, it sounds like. The tree has teleported away, and now it's up above, and if you notice, the affinity of the tree has changed. It's now Sanctity base instead of the Lightning base it was near Rosa. Moira has struck the fairy, which pisses it off and makes it a target on the field. This is definitely overkill, though. I don't need to overcharge to kill a fairy. They don't have very much HP. It's also kind of a risk because she zips around pretty quickly, and of course with an overcharge you have one chance. After you do the attack, the weapon's knocked out for the rest of the round. So that fairy pretty much got vaporized. Tree warped back next to Rosa, and she's lying in wait for it. Good rinse of that trash. Okay, another round where I didn't attack the treasure box, so I guess I'll get a few blows on. Alright, she did 16% damage there. That's a little better than Lucy was doing. Okay, we're making progress. Okay, a high-level fire-based dragon near Moira. Can she do it? There's a hound near Rosa, which is kind of scary, but fortunately Francis can attack him with total impunity. He can't reach her all the way over there. So this will be Francis's round. One last check for any key items. And it looks like we got them all delivered. Okie doke. Alright, Francis is poised to hit that fucking hound. Alright, she lands the blow, and that changes the hound's affinity to neutral. Meanwhile, Moira unleashes her overcharge, and the dragon survives it. Oh shit. Her ice weapon is locked out. Francis gets another hit on that hound and gives him, of course, the wound status again. So now that he's neutral based, there's no point in attacking him with her neutral daggers. Fortunately, Moira can use them, so let's get a hit off on that dragon and see if we can finish him off. If he would ever come in range. There we go, good job, Moira. Oh, and he still survived. He's got maybe a tenth of his health left. Francis doesn't have a full charge, but it should be enough to kill this hound. And he's down. And not only that, but the treasure box opened as well. Luckily, the weapon got sucked into the wisp. I really didn't deserve that, but I won't question it. So it was the Southern Cross plus 3 that we received from that treasure chest. Alright, let's check out this weapon and see if it's any good. So at first I'm like, oh, that's a priestess weapon, right? Oh, no, it's a wizard one. There we go. Yep, there it is, Southern Cross plus 3. And at a glance, yeah, that's a halfway decent weapon. It outlevels our wizards we have now, but it's overchargeable in both Law and Chaos phase. Yeah, it's not too shabby. The only thing is, look, I already had one. So somewhere along the way I picked one up incidentally. Okay, whatever. This is not worth the effort. I'm not going to waste my time on that other treasure box that the magic tile is hiding. I pulled out Francis. We don't need her anymore. We're going to use Colleen to travel up the screen and deal with those monsters up there. Otherwise, Rosa and Moira are pretty much set. So there is a Sanctity monster up there and a neutral one. Once Colleen gets up there, let's give her some weapons to work with. That Zolfi matches Colleen's elemental affinity, and it has the overcharge ability, so we will take advantage of that. But for now, Colleen's going on a road trip. Yeah, we're coming for you, monsters. We're coming for you. Good job, Colleen. And the tree monster near Rosa beamed in near Colleen and actually matches the Sanctity as well as the monster up there. So that was a bad choice by the tree. Tree is killed by that blow, but the little gremlin guy survives. Another one shot from Moira, good job. So there's nothing I can really do now. I do have a lightning-based sword for Colleen, but it's only available in Chaos Phase, and I don't want her moving out of position. Miss Lean was actually transsouled into Rosa. Dude, come on, keep up. I tried to talk to the fairy up there, but she's not active because she hasn't been struck yet, so I can't even do pause talks with her. Alright, good job, Colleen. You got us to where we wanted to go, but I'm going to throw in Hilgard, our other permanent duelist. And the reason why is because Hilgard has a much better Law Phase index than Colleen. Here we can see Hilgard on the right. That blue bar is longer on her end than it is on Colleen's. On the other hand, Colleen's Chaos index is better than Hilgard's. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. However, the duelist there is going to be attacking in Law Phase, so I want to use the best option we got. Since there are no key items on this map, we're free to kill all the monsters and just be done with it. So that tree teleports away from Rosa and gets away from the attack, but jumps into the arms of Hilgard. Another kill from Moira, good job. That was a poor choice by that tree to spawn as a sanctity base monster with her in range. So there's only one guy left on the field, but I don't want to use that Chaos Movement Lightning Sword because I don't want Hilgard to get out of position. I really should have swapped that out last time. And if you look, we have no more lightning-based enemies. Oh, and look at who it is! It's that high-level Fire Dragon. He's back for more. Moira's going to get a second chance. Alright, we have a lot of kills on the Monster Matrix, but we don't have the condition of Final Monster with this draw. There's a sword for Hilgard to use in Law Phase. That'll speed things up. Since there's no more lightning-based enemies, there's no point in having Rosa on field. She's not going to attack anybody, and I don't want her on field and have me brush past her and accidentally start charging her. So I just go ahead and pull her out. Finally, I throw on another pair of daggers for Moira. In case she misses with the overcharge, now she'll have a backup plan. Alright, Moira, Hilgard, let's do this.
Engaged. It's showtime.
Oh, there's that rush count again. Nice. I want to take advantage of it if I can. Oh, come on. There we go. Finally, the dragon goes down. Good job, Moira. There's no escape for that hound. He's in a pretty bad spot. He's sequestered by the height difference there, so he can't even pounce on the knight's face if he sees one. Sad day for him. Look at all those final monsters. Alright, girls, this has been fun, but let's put an end to it.
Engage. I'll take you down. Break out. This jagged ice will tear your...
And easy kill for Moira ends the scene. On the inventory screen, once again, I didn't bother to do anything. We are getting towards the end of the game, and I'm pretty happy so far with our Knights levels. And to be honest, I think most of our trans souls are behind us now, although I wouldn't rule out a few more before the game ends. Anyway, moving on. So it looks like there's some heavy shit going down, doesn't it? And we can see from the screen here that for the next round we have the same antics with the magic tiles. Same situation, if we step on them it'll cause a treasure box to appear, but the treasure boxes only hold weapons, no key items, so I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of time worrying about it. I did want to discuss my tactics in that last round. You may have noticed that I did quite a bit of overcharging, didn't I? At a glance it might seem expensive, I think it's defensible. The way the attacks work in this game is that first you charge a knight for the range of the attack, and then there's a second phase where you charge for the power. Those two phases are identical lengths of time. So I'm going to pick an arbitrary number, but let's say it's 5 seconds to charge for the range, and then another 5 seconds to charge to max power. So, okay, fine, 10 seconds. To overcharge, you charge yet another phase afterwards, so a third phase, for another 5 seconds, bringing the total to 15. And overcharges cost 1 vitality as opposed to 0.5 vitality that a magic attack will do. In this case, all the monsters that Moira fought would have survived the first blow, so she would have had to necessarily attack twice to get them. So far so good. 2 attacks at 0.5 equals 1 vitality per kill, that's the same we got for the overcharges. However, if we charge 2 separate attacks, that's going to be a total of 4 phases. 1 to charge the range, of course, then 1 to charge the power. And there goes 1 attack, that's 2 phases that we charged. Then we repeat it 2 more. In the case of an overcharge, there's only a total of 3 phases. So basically we save 25% of the charge time for the same vitality cost. Now of course there are risks involved. What if I miss the overcharge or the enemy survives? well, the weapon's locked out, so I better hope that I have a backup plan. And in this case, I didn't for the dragon, did I? The other flaw in my argument is that I'm making the assumption that an alternate dagger that I couldn't overcharge, but instead attack twice with, I'm assuming that that charge time would be equivalent to the charge time of the dagger that I would overcharge. And that's a faulty assumption. I can't really make that assumption. A counterpoint, overcharging is fun. Moving on. In the flashback, we saw Alier receive news that King Wilmgard had been killed. Sakito was apparently the informant, and then went on to say, the one who killed the king is from Asgard, and in fact is the same person who destroyed the tower. Now this conflicts with what we've seen in-game. In a flashback set the night of the tragedy at Aventhium Castle, we saw with our own eyes it was Melissa who killed the king. However, during the flashback when we saw the tower get blown up, we saw a different person, an angel. We don't know who that is, but it's certainly not Melissa. So there's something going on here. Either we or the Tiamats don't have the full story. Or maybe both. At any rate, this is when Alier decides you gotta get the corpse. And we know the rest, of course. Sakito takes it, and then there's a merry chase up until this point in the game. In the present day cutscene, we saw Algerie apparently making it to her destination when Yelma pops out and says, alright slave, get the king's corpse. So, apparently, I guess to some degree, Algerie was under Yelma's control up until this point, although certainly not 100% under control. She gives a direct order, get the corpse. Algerie hesitates, and as a result, Yelma goes ahead and nukes her. On the Wisp side of things, once again we're getting harassed by random monsters. So another stage. More monsters to kill. We'll do our duty, our due diligence as the Wisp, and kill everything that we see. It'll be a fun time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.